Alright, so the reset just happened and you're absolutely curious as to where you should go to farm these reactors. It's real simple and easy, man. If you open up your world map, come over to the difficulty level rewards, then you can choose everything here, the reactor you want, then go specific and go singular, and then of course we're going to choose chill. And for this week we have the general rounds, impact rounds, and high powered rounds. So almost one of each category for the singular, which is definitely what we want on our reactor for the increase in damage. So you simply pick whichever one. I'm going to go specifically the general rounds because I don't ever use a heavy weapon as my main, or like a scout rifle as my main for either. I'm usually a Python, Thunder Cage, whatever, general rounds kind of guy. So I'm going to choose this one. It's going to find this area, the shipment base. And we're going to want to do this mission right here, this very first one called the Fortress Outskirts. You come around here, there's enemies that spawn, more enemies, and then you have this whole field right here that you just destroy and kill a bunch of them. They spawn like crazy. You get a bunch of reactor drops. You can get lucky enough. The one I have right now, if you're a little curious, what I have on here is the chill skill power boost ratio, the singular, and then skill critical hit damage plus an increase in the critical hit rate. It is on the Albion Cavalry, but I mean that doesn't matter too much because most of her abilities are pretty much one shot anyway. You use them, shoot off a few rounds, and then she's pretty much done. So I don't really need the primary weapon at all. On any primary you have, even your secondary, or if you choose for some reason to go the high powered rounds, hey, I'm no judge, man. You do what you gotta do. Just make sure when you come in here to expand the weapon charge, so expand your weapon's magazine, because it does affect her fourth ability, similar to Freyna. If you ever get this character and you play her and use her ability and she has 4 rounds on her sniper rifle, which is her fourth ability here, then you get the increase in the magazine size, and it goes from 4 rounds to 7 rounds. You can see the default number of bullets is times 4 shots. So just keep in mind, if you're going to be using something, you definitely want to at least expand the weapon charge on it if you get lucky enough. If you get it on your Python or you get it on your Thunder Cage or whichever you decide to use on, just having that is a big bonus, especially if you're going against Colossus and you want to do some big damage numbers. If you want my personal opinion on the best singular reactor that you can get for her, you definitely want the critical hit damage for those higher numbers when those crits hit. And then you want, for Colossus fights, of course, the increased damage against Colossus. And then just for regular mobbing, you definitely still want the critical hit damage. And on top of that, you probably want to boost to one of your singular skill or chill skill power boost ratios. But all of her abilities really aren't that great for mobbing unless you mainly focus on her third ability, which is just giving her increased crit rate and crit damage to pretty much the weapon you're holding in hand and to all of her abilities. So if you really see yourself using this character the entire time you're playing against Colossus and regular enemies, then I mean completely go for it. But for me personally, I'm going to stick to this character being something I bring into the Colossus fights, so I'm going to focus more on damage against Colossus on my reactor is what I wish would have happened, but the increase in critical hit rate isn't too bad. But my dream roll is critical hit damage and Colossus damage increase, both in gold states. That would be absolutely amazing. Before the Fortress Outskirts over here in the White Knight Gulch, you definitely want to bring somebody like Bunny, Valby, or even Luna, somebody who can do good area damage consistently. As you can see, I have Luna with me now. We're just going to activate and start the mission. And then just go and melt these guys. It's not too hard of a mission. It's really easy if you have one of those 3 characters on you. Just go ahead and just sleep them all. No problems, no problems. And then as soon as you kill all of them, and you get this little prompt in the center here, the A, B, C, and D, just activate all 4 of them. Don't do one at a time. You're just going to waste time. It's not that big of a deal that the enemies get on it and slow down the progress. The only thing we really want is just all those enemies spawns constantly on you. This is why I said also to bring Luna or Bunny or good descendants like that, because the high damage to kill all these enemies as quickly as possible is a great return for those reactor drops. The more reactors you can get the drop, the better your chances are for you to get that god roll you're looking for, whichever you're actually planning to build for your weapon. Look, we actually have 2 right here. Absolutely beautiful, man. I wish you guys the best of luck on your reactor farms. If you're curious as to you want to see the updated Luna build, just let me know in the comments. I also leave a link in the description so you guys can go check out the current build that's on Luna. It'll take you straight there. That way you can learn exactly what I have on this character, so I'll be able to do all this damage here and have this specific range. At the end of this mission, I will show you how many reactors I got to drop, because it can be quite a few if you get lucky. Sometimes you aren't as lucky, but you can still get a bunch even in a bad run, because there's just so many enemies and they're consistently dropping these reactors. But remember to stay safe, because the world without you is nothing.